ahead, slowing down and making no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those in the windshield wipers snapping at the tempo, playing perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep it rolling.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gig App Worker Roundtable. Sorry to shake that off. What's up, Kim Side Money Plans? What's up, Tom Kelly? What's up, Cheyenne? And you guys, right now, we're waiting to see what's up with Michelle. She might be getting arrested or raided. There was like some flashing lights in her house. And then there was a hard knock on the door. And we said, is that your house? And she said, yes. And she's gone. So hopefully she comes back.
Yeah.
I think she lives in a good part of St. Louis, so I'm not too worried. What's up? Hey, Bud Soda. Hey, I on the loose. What's up, Dashing Womble? Hope you have a great show. Hope you stick around, man. Let's see. What's up, Tim? What's up, Queen Brown? What's up, Brandon? What is up, Thomas Mathis? What is up, Tommy? What's up? Hey, what's up, Gagan? What is... Oh, whoops. I wasn't using that. Oh, either the cops are coming or she's coming back in here. So everybody keep your fingers crossed that Michelle's good. It was very weird, just so you know. And yes, before we even get started, Kim just, I think, reminded me of something that I had actually ready. So I was one ahead of you, Kim. So as you guys know, Kim and I have really been trying to make sure you guys are on delivered, even if you're on the wait list. Next Tuesday, is it the 10th?
Yes, this Tuesday coming up.
Yes, September 10th, next Tuesday on Kim's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. Kim will have Chris Heffernan on. He is the CEO and founder of Delivered. Great guy. And Kim saw the live I did with Chris, so I'm sure she will take it to another level. And I saw Kim dropped a video about the portal. Super important about the portal, by the way. That came out in my interview, and then Kim made a video about it. So hopefully you guys are taking that seriously, because I know it may look, you might say it's not making a difference, but he told us in the live that it does. He's like, it will make a huge difference. So make sure you go into the new portal if you haven't been, and check it out if you're on Delivered. Don't just ignore it. It wasn't one of those. She's woo, you lived. That was all very weird. Those flashing, was it a UFO? What happened?
Well, I live at it's T Street. It tees down. All the cars come this way. Mm-hmm. And I do have it's dark now, and I do have the lights partially open. And that was actually someone trying to reach us. So
okay.
Yeah. So that happens a lot. And we're just glad that we have a 60-year-old tree right in front of the door, because it's a potential that someone would forget to make the turn and come right into the house.
That could be scary.
We don't want them to hit the tree either. We don't want anything to happen. But
well, we're just happy you're safe, because we didn't know. Let's see. We said hi to everybody in the chat, right? We are caught up, or probably. Let me see if I missed anybody here. Eric Berry, Thomas Mathis, Christopher Taylor. 56 days of 110 or higher. Ouch, dude. That I would just. I don't even want to say it, because I don't know what I'd do. I might check myself into a mental institution that's super air conditioned until it was over.
That's crazy hot.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. But it's a dry heat. I know I'm joking. I hate that comment, because it's still hot. I think I said hello to everybody. Bubba Sue, how are you? Ivanaska, how are you doing? Brenda, how are you? Traveler, I did miss a few. Amanda, how are you? And then back up to Brandon. I think we're caught up now. I think. Okay, so everybody, how you doing? We got some topics tonight for sure. The first one I want to, before we get before I want to talk about the Canada thing that we kind of left you on a teaser with, because it actually happened this week. And then I knew it was happening because that's why I talked about it last week. And Michelle sent me one of the Dasher updates. And so I have that here, and we'll talk about that, because it actually ended up being, after the show ended, immediately Cheyenne backstage said, wait, what is the Canada? So I had to tell her after what I had been told, but I didn't want to put it out there because I didn't know if it would be right. And it's right. It could even be more, but we'll get there. But Lyft, this is a really big story, you guys. And maybe some people are overlooking it. I talked to a couple of people. This is going to be a big deal. So, and we missed this story, by the way, because or maybe it was the day after, but it was from August 28th, and there's a couple others. I don't know how, I just came across it, but Lyft is a motor carrier and State Farm can be sued directly. I won't get fully into all the details, but the bottom line is that there was a 2015 statute put into place. And if you're familiar, Lyft drivers are independent contractors, Uber drivers are independent contractors, and they can be sued directly. And that's kind of, I mean, in my opinion, that's probably part of why, like, you could just send an insurance card that isn't any commercial. I mean, a lot of people don't have the right insurance. They sign up and immediately it says you're approved, because they probably don't care, because it's you getting sued. They expect you to know what you're doing. But so now under this, it's all been fought out. It's been going on for a year. But it's the Georgia Motor Carriers Act, and it got some trucking and some limousines and things of that nature out of the line of fire here, because oddly, and I thought this is kind of funny to me, because Tom, I think you'll find this funny too, because it's actually about about trucking. It was a 1937 law that had to go into place, and the rationale behind the 1937 law was two things. And I'll start with the second, because may have had few assets that could be used to pay damages, meaning the drivers. But I find the first one hilarious. So the rationale behind the 1937 law was that truckers could often not be found. So if you wanted to sue them, they just basically, you couldn't find them. They were outlaws. They were like, forget that, dude. You're not going to, they couldn't get served, whatever. So the other part was that also, if they did find them, they didn't have any money to pay all this stuff. But now this is not, they said that the new ruling that made the exemptions that are necessary, Uber and Lyft has been operating under, thinking that they were included in that, when specifically they were left out of the language. It was not an accident. And it states that here, that they're like, well, we should be included in that. We are in Seattle, kind of thing. And it's like, well, you're working with the Teamsters up there, like each state being different. And they said, we specifically left you out of that. So now, like State Farm is the example in this. If you are a Lyft driver and you get into an accident with another person, you get a passenger hurt or whatever, Lyft can get sued. So my question becomes, what happens now? Because let's be honest, these companies think at most they have $1 million on the line, kind of thing, and your insurance has got you and they can pin it on you. But now, if you don't have money, they're going to go to Lyft. So what happens? Tom, what happens?
Well, this is interesting. I haven't had a chance to read this one over, but this has been an ongoing issue in many states in the trucking community because of these super judgments that they call them. Where a trucker gets in a wreck with somebody and they end up being fatally injured or severely injured, and they sue, and the jury awards $1.8 billion or some such thing. It's a ridiculous amount. And there's been a lot of talk, in different states about how to kind of get that under control, because what it's forcing the companies to do is to increase the premiums because they have to buy more insurance because of these super judgments that come in and go well beyond.
And what insurance company is going to have them? They barely can get them now.
Right. So, so now that Lyft can be on the hook directly for a driver's bad driving in the state of Georgia, that's interesting to a point. Now, again, though,
Uber too, by the way, guys, this is not just a Lyft related thing. It's rideshare. Both.
Okay. So in the state of Texas, I have State Farm. Actually, I've had State Farm for almost 50 years. How about that? So I've got State Farm, and I have the state of Texas rider, not to be confused with rider, the rider on there that covers me when I'm doing that kind of work. So it would be interesting to see what Uber's response would be. I mean, you'd think, unless they're able to sue Uber. Let's say I'm in a wreck and I kill somebody, and they sue Uber for millions and millions of dollars. What, that wouldn't fly in Texas right now, but obviously it would work in Georgia.
Right. Well, also, I want to mention this to people because this should be a wake-up call for everybody. I don't see the date when it'll be enforced, but it's not next year, which is crazy. It's one of those laws that it is this year. I just don't know when it goes into effect. But I guarantee you that if not before, that single day that it goes into effect, Uber Teen becomes illegal or it's gone. And that right there should tell you that you should not take those rides. I wanted to really bring that around because that's huge. Because watch, they will not have Uber Teen in Georgia if they're on the hook. No chance. I mean, they're already catching as much crap as you can for that. So I just thought it was kind of weird. I think the whole thing is kind of strange, but I mean, all these states, like we've said, go after these companies in different ways. And this is what Georgia's choosing, like there's been people, and like Sergio said, like there's a playbook. There is. However, some of the states are going, that playbook isn't working real well. Let's try something else. And they're coming at them in all kinds of different ways. I found this super interesting, to be honest. And that's why I wanted to make sure we covered it because I missed it. That's from August 28th. The rest are all from the last few days. The other one before we get to the BC thing that I wanted to talk about here is, if it comes up. So California companies wrote their own gig worker law. Now, no one is enforcing it. And there's a reason why. Again, very crazy story here. So nearly 4 years after California voters approved better wages and health benefits for ride-hailing drivers and delivery workers, no one is actually ensuring they are provided, according to state agencies, interviews with workers, and a review of wage claims filed with the state. So I know people get their Prop 22. You get it every week or 2 weeks or whatever you guys have set up, and they send you a stipend check to make up that difference. However, voters mandated the benefits in November of 2020 when they approved Prop 22. The ballot initiative was backed by gig work companies that wanted to keep their workers classified as independent contractors and were resisting a 2019 law, AB 5, that would have considered them employees. Prop 22 stipulated that gig workers would remain independent contractors but be treated better. Better. We'll treat you better. The State Industrial Relations Department, which handles wage claims, now tells Cal Matters it does not have jurisdiction to resolve Prop 22 related claims, citing the recent July 25th California Supreme Court ruling that upheld Prop 22 and therefore maintains that gig workers are not employees. That effectively passes enforcement responsibility onto State Attorney General, whose office is not in favor of pushing this. So now what?
So it's effectively not a law,
right? So, but I mean, like, what are they still going to pay some? And it's just going to be like, well, we'll just send you $5 every week. But that's not what I used to get. Yeah, we don't care. Sue us. I mean, again, here we go. You know, another, even like the one a lot of people think didn't work, just didn't work. And then we get to, guys, last week, this is big. At the end of last week, I told you guys that, and like I said earlier, that she wanted to know right away, and she knows now, but I said that in Canada, there's going to be a different system for Doordash. And this week, the information did come out. It's British Columbia for now. The person who told me that what it would be, I told all these people backstage as soon as we were done so they can verify it. It actually, if it's not that, it would be close, might even go over in an active hour. But what it is backstage, I said that it's kind of a reversed idea on EBT. It was, let's give them $30 an active hour. What? So this is already in effect with September 5th. Just for archive's sake, this went into effect on September 3rd. In British Columbia, Dashers fulfilling third-party delivery received through DoorDash Marketplace in British Columbia will now earn a minimum of $20.88 per active time, plus before tips, plus 35 cents per kilometer traveled, meaning long distance ones that none of us take. You might take them now. During the same time. So let's say you did 30 kilometers in an active hour, you're going to make $30 an hour. That's just what it is. I mean, or even, I mean, however you want to do it. If you did 5 kilometers, you're still going to make like 22. Like, it's just, if you do, I don't know, if you do 60, you're going to make 40 in an active hour. I don't know. What are everybody's feeling? I mean, yeah, that's why I said, like, I don't want to tell you guys yet, because I wanted to see if this played out like the person told me, but obviously
How will they not end up the same as Seattle, which is another one of the things you've got highlighted for this week? You know, Seattle has become, I mean, basically nobody can use it anymore. It's just too expensive. So how does this not
hopefully
turn into
maybe Cheyenne can weigh in on this, like how, I mean, we always get insights from her on Canada, but I mean, like, maybe how the taxes, I don't know. I don't know.
So obviously everyone's talking about it in all of the Facebook groups and everything like that. And the drivers that are over there, they're saying that they're not getting a lot of orders because obviously everybody's out there now. They hear about this. They're like, oh, we're going to make this amount of money. So they all just, turn on the app. So then there's going to be a lot less drivers that can actually make money. But then one person, I was just reading a comment. He said he worked since noon. It's 6:30 now. I've earned $37.66 before kilometer allowance. One of the 6 deliveries was for Skip. So it's not even like just DoorDash. And that the wages, technically it's the customer that's paying for it. So now the customer cost is going to be higher.
a lot?
Customers aren't going to order then.
Yeah, that's what happens in Seattle.
That's what we keep, not just Seattle, that's what we keep doing everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, anywhere, I mean, it sucks, but anywhere that is really pushing legislation is getting their A handed to them, I mean, everybody's like waiting on this big thing to happen in Massachusetts, and Mike Ruby and I have been we did a 6-part piece on it called the Boston Massacre. It's going to end in nothing but you guys getting screwed.
I have a moderator that's very vocal, and he's in Canada, and the first thing he said when he saw this was, I guess my AR will be 100% now.
Yeah. I mean,
why wouldn't you?
What do you care? I mean, to be honest, what do you care?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how the hidden tips are where you are, Cheyenne, though, either. Like, I don't know how because we all know DoorDash plays every zone different in the United States and Canada. How do they I mean, maybe they're fully transparent. We haven't talked in a while.
They still do the hidden tips thing over here. That's one thing that's really annoying. Skip is the only one that tells you your full payout. Uber does the hidden tips and DoorDash does the hidden tips. So it's still, and this is what I was saying when we were backstage, I don't take those long distance orders because it never makes sense with the kilometers. Canada's huge. my market, I showed it to you guys. I'll pop it up shortly if you guys want, but it's a very big market. So if I'm here and I need to go all the way over here, your $8 or $9.50, whatever that you're capping it at until I complete the order, it's not going to be enough. Yeah. It's never going to be enough because they have these hidden tip issues.
Yeah.
So with this one, I understand why, you know, they're like, I'll take anything because you're being paid a base, but then you're also being paid per kilometer. That per kilometer part is huge.
And even though you guys don't pay taxes,
we do
on the gig apps that are supposed to, but I mean, we won't go back into that. You guys, it's an older episode. You can go find it. But like you do get to write off your kilometers, right? Maybe work ones.
Yeah.
So what do you write them off for?
So the way that we do our taxes is dependent on how many kilometers you're using for business versus for personal. That's what that proportion is, what you get to use for all of your expenses. So let's say you paid, I don't know, $6,000 in gas for the year, but your business is 60%. Well, then 60% of that $6,000 is what you can claim on your taxes.
And Canada's so weird. It doesn't just end with the metric system, you guys. It's like, I mean, like just to reprise what we were talking about with the taxes, it ended up, yes, they were supposed to, but in a joke and in kind of in a not a joke, we had an episode where there was some news out there and everybody was like, wait, I got to pay taxes on these.
Yeah, so many people were like, wait, what? I got to pay taxes? Like I got emails about it.
This is like this year.
Like crazy. It was crazy. I did one video and so many like people reached out on Instagram. I'm like, wow, you really went that far to find my Instagram to message me and say like, wait, we're supposed to, you know, claim our taxes? Yes.
I mean, it's funny to me, you know. I mean, I like here people just they know they have to, but they don't, or they don't claim it, or they don't write this or that, and they're just like, please don't look, please don't look. And up there, you guys are like, what? I gotta pay that?
What? Like it makes no sense. Taxes? Why wouldn't you? You have to claim everything. It's so crazy. Like even if you have an illegal business, like it actually says if you're selling drugs, you need to claim that amount that you're making. And it's like, wait, but who's doing that? Like, I don't know. But yes, it says any income that you're making, you have to claim it. People don't do it.
Tom wanted to go back to Georgia. I can't hear you. Mic off.
Just to clarify a little bit on this, and I posted this directly from a law firm that was talking about all of it, and why it just showed up 8 times, I don't know. But
yeah, I'm like going with
yeah, I was like, huh?
Yeah. So whatever. I only put it in there once, but okay. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, what this changes is that as a rideshare driver, if you're involved in an accident and the plaintiff, the person who is suing, whether that's the rider or the other driver or whatever, can't figure out who you were, Lyft or Uber is on the hook instead of you.
Right. But then you get into the Data Privacy Act where they can't share information about their contractors. Just like if somebody tripped and fell on a construction site and somebody paid somebody to lay the cement there, they're going to call the GC, not the guy who laid it.
Right. But normally people who are in an accident that involves injuries are going to have some kind of record of who was involved.
I think one other takeaway that obviously I took from this anyway, and we've all talked about it enough and it's mainstream enough that we can mention it, is that, I think part of this is to squeeze out people who are working illegally too. Because Lyft knowing this might, I honestly think they've avoided dealing with a lot of illegal accounts, knowing that they're there. Not just Lyft, DoorDash, the rest of them all.
It puts all of those companies in a more tenuous position than they were before, since now that illegal person would be probably harder to find. Again, in a major accident,
And does Lyft want to save that or not have to pay that driver that 50 cents on the risk that he might be an illegal? Because if he does get in an accident and it's a hit and run, where they used to go, well, chase him, not me. Because now that's one of those situations where they'd be like, well, we're going to come after you since you don't know who it is.
Right.
Or people who, like, we talk about this all the time, right? This happens more in Miami than anywhere, but it happens everywhere. People who keep their rideshare cars going 24/7 and have 3 different drivers doing it. Right. 2 of the drivers aren't going to qualify. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it could open a huge can of worms. But I guess we'll see. But I hear you. I mean, like, I guess I'm just, I keep getting surprised by these different ways that the states are approaching it. But DoorDash driver says someone placed an order to the wrong address. Then she realizes why. This is just one of those stories we like sharing once in a while. I liked this one because it grabbed me a bit. Sometimes we've kind of been through these, but a DoorDash customer seemingly tried to set up a scam to set up their driver by sending her the wrong address, but she wasn't falling for it, no matter how sad the sob story. So there are some wild stories linked to DoorDash orders, from the woman who found out her husband was cheating on her because of pictures of a food delivery, boomers who should be banned from the app. These are the stories. And the person who caused a massive mess on a customer's doorstep. But so in this case, the Dasher explains that she picked up a cash on delivery order, which, before I go any farther, how Michelle, maybe you know too, because you might, have most markets not removed this dumbass feature?
Well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, in my market, it's still there.
Yeah, it's opt out per driver.
Right, but to me, it's just like they shouldn't even have it. You're just asking for problems.
I leave it on, but and my market's huge and I have so many restaurants. The only places I get it from are Papa John's and Pizza Hut. That's it. And
I missed what are we talking about?
So, like, when you order DoorDash, you can do a cash on delivery. I don't like that.
No.
We don't. I mean, we're moving into a technology age. Even if you do, I don't barely ever use cash anymore. I don't know about the rest of you, but barely ever,
The tips look like they are non-existent, and I mean, I'm set up to do it, and I leave it on just in case, but it's only Papa John's, which, as you know, only farms out their orders when they don't have any drivers. And
right, but I mean, by the way, counterfeit makers, this is your best in right here. Order 500 Papa John's pizzas, pay in fake money. The driver will have no clue it's fake. There you go.
Yeah.
Michelle, what about emos?
Emos? Oh, well, you know what?
It's just a St. Louis joke between you and me.
Exactly. And their philosophy is that they'll never, ever, ever use rideshare. But they do. Grubhub would somehow, you could go in there and place an order through Grubhub, and on Grubhub's instructions it says, "Do not tell restaurant that you are Grubhub." And I always feel like they're making me lie or do something shady when I have to. Yeah.
So, but this goes on to say that. So here's what happened. She went to the address. She takes the DoorDash. She rings the doorbell. She rings it again. She rings it again. She knocks, and I'm thinking nobody's there, right? So, but finally, a person does show up that lives there and says, "No, I didn't order anything." So she goes and calls the customer, and a man picks up the phone, and he says that he accidentally put the wrong address in, and could they do him a big favor and take the food about 10 minutes away. She says he told her the food was for his kids who really needed some food. He claimed the kids had cash for the order, she adds, and then she says he told her he'd make sure they gave her at least a $10 tip. The scammer's reaction: "Sir, F you and them kids." I absolutely love this. Okay, I'm not doing that. That's her quote. F you and them kids.
Well,
So-
she had enough nerve to say what we all want to say. She just
Right.
said it out loud.
So she says he told her to give him a second, and because she said that the only way she would do this is he would have to do it correctly through the DoorDash app. She's obviously, she knows her game. She's telling him what to do. Change the address in the app, and I can do it. Still wouldn't be happy about it, right? But whatever. Then and he says he would do it. He didn't do it. Then she texts him, but there was no response. She says she called again, no response. Says she has to use her precious work time to call DoorDash, report the incident, and then drive the food back to Pizza Hut. And Kim, this is where I thought of you, because the DoorDasher rep, here's what it says: the DoorDasher rep was helpful because they blocked the customer from ever getting assigned that driver again.
Oh,
Which Kim has been through, and I'm sorry, it's
BS.
bullshit. Yeah, I was going to say BS, but on that one, I just had to say it because you know what? First of all, why would they even say that? That would be a given, but why aren't they kicked off the platform? We know how many customers abuse it.
first off, the driver should have been able to keep the food and get at least half or full pay for delivering it to the address in the app. That's the way it should have went down.
Yeah.
And not taking the food back, but just keeping the food. You can keep it, donate, give it to a homeless person, whatever you want. Just,
So one of her quotes at the end was she was still curious what the scam or setup was. And that's why I read this one, because so am I. I'm confused by this. Like, how many dashers would go, okay, I'll drive another 10 miles on a cash delivery where he said he put in the wrong address that's 10 miles away. Like, how is that the wrong address? You don't know that house.
They
Well,
try
So now you're going to
carjack-
drive another 10 miles for what's a cash only one. Clearly,
today. Oh, go
here
ahead.
were the responses to this, because they're, good thing you listen to your gut instinct. Always trust your gut instinct. So I can't find it now, but one person had said there were two outcomes here. Either they're going to try and scam you for the food for free, or you're going to be sex trafficked.
I was going to say, were they trying to carjack her car?
Well, but I guess I'm asking, first of all, who does cash who does the cash deliveries? I know Michelle said there's a selection, but I don't do it enough. So I'm asking you guys for real, and that
I turned
bashed
it off.
on it. I
I've
wouldn't do
never
it. I wouldn't do
been
any.
into cash on delivery.
Most-
Even now with preferences, sorry, Michelle. Even now with preferences, like, I don't even select it. I just think it's a liability, and I don't keep cash on me, period. So why do something I don't keep cash on me, period?
Yeah.
Drivers
Sorry,
hate it.
Michelle.
No, they hate it. They just hate it. And when they all of a sudden get it available, they're like, what is this? And how can I turn it off?
Well, also, if you're doing cash only, to me, that might, in most cases, that would mean you literally don't have enough money on your card. Because why would you do cash if you have enough on your card that is on your DoorDash account? Because you have to have one tied to it. So you don't have enough money on your card. I'm already I'm not only suspicious, I'm judging you at this point. Like, you don't have the money, you don't have the cash. You're just trying to get the free food. You got a couple scams you're going to try. And if any free food's going out, it's going to me. It ain't going to you.
Every driver has a joke about and there's going to be a cash tip. It's one of the biggest jokes out there. There'll be a cash tip against the door. There'll be a cash tip underneath the mat. If you do this, there'll be a cash tip. And they're always humiliated and angry because there's never a cash tip.
Yeah.
I'll get you on the app after the ride.
No, and Tom,
Oh,
I was gonna say to you, you remember my thing from Driver Nation. In the beginning, I told Tom, I used to have a play for this, and this is pre-pandemic with Rideshare all the time. I could tip you through the app, right? every time I would lean back and go, yeah, you know what? Can you show me how you do that? I have people ask me all the time.
No, that's
and they're
good.
like, sure.
I had
Because
the
they
other
knew
day.
I wasn't going to tip you.
Yeah, I
But
had
you
the
got
other
me.
day. Sorry. I had the other day. It wasn't a cash on delivery because I don't have it, but it was a shopping order. And man, she was like interactive the whole entire time with her substitutions, whatever. So I get to the door, and hey, kudos to DoorDash because they hid this really well. She goes, "Oh, I don't ever do a tip until I actually get my groceries because there's been many times it hasn't been delivered to my house." And she goes, and she's like, "Don't worry, as soon as you leave here, I'll make sure that your tip goes on the app." And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Sure, it will.
I mean, that's when you're just like, I'll just stand here till you do. Just stand there and stare at them. Like, if they shut the door, stare at the door. Don't even move.
I don't
And
know
then
what
they will. They'll just be like, I need this person off my property so I can eat my lunch. They're scaring me.
I don't know what juju I had going on the other day, but back to back to back, I had a 20, then a 30, and then a 30 in tips.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
And all of
Yeah,
the
I
rides
mean-
were less than that.
Oh wait, one thing before I get to this next one is I wanted to show you guys this. This is ridiculous to me. Uber hourly. $30 an hour, and they get to have as many stops as they want, tell you where they want to go. They don't have to do it ahead of time. They can just go there, go there, go there. I mean, we're going to go get diapers. We're going to do how many miles? Where's all the factors here? And you're just charging them $30 an hour. What are you paying the driver?
I have like, I'm like, you're somebody's, I won't say the word for an hour.
We all know what Kim meant.
Someone's
But I mean, like,
That's
one job that might be 3 miles that might take you an hour and it's $30. I wouldn't even like that. Maybe you do that, but this is a joke. Like, you're mine for an hour. What? To me, it's like, look, drug dealers, buy 2 hours, go make all your deliveries so you're not driving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worse
Seriously.
than Connect. You want to talk about drug dealing? There you go, man. You got a private chauffeur.
Yeah.
I need you to make 60 stops. What?
Like, you don't know where you're going as a driver. You don't know anything. That's scary.
Yeah, it's horrible. So the Minnesota thing. Minnesota, I know there's a lot of rideshare tonight, but this had to be covered, you guys. These are like falling apart. So this is wild too. The Minnesota Uber Lyft Driver Association, MUDA or whatever it would be, MULDA or something. But the organization is in an essence, I don't want to, it's a long article. I can put it in the show notes here in a second, but the organization, they're behind what won the minimum wage laws in Minnesota. And the guy who leads this, if you guys have been following the story, you would probably know this too, is Eid Ali. And he's a driver who's put in charge of this association. He's the president. And they are being sued now by 4 board members and 2 paying members who, in the I won't go through the whole thing, but in the filed documents, they said that they didn't take money. He's taken in $60,000. So the people who were like getting Governor Walz behind all this and saying, we need this and we need this and all this stuff and making it happen for all these years are now like being sued for fraud. And the law just started a month ago. So, I mean, this isn't even Uber and Lyft. This is like, this is everybody involved going, wait, what are you doing? Why are you stealing from the drivers? So I'll put the article in there. It's worth reading. I don't want to go through the whole thing for you guys, but I thought it was kind of weird with the fact that this just happened. Because in the lawsuit, here it is. The one thing I wanted to mention was that the 6 people who are suing Malda, said that it collected $60,000 from 280 drivers. Now, the guy Eli Ali or Eid Ali came back and said, no, we have 1,000 members. Well, even that, what are you charging them 6,000? Wait, what would that be? I mean, come on, dude, you're charging them $6,000 each? Like, I don't know. I just don't get this. These were the people who were saying, we need unions, we need this. And now they're like they're going to be sued and all this crap. So who even knows if that law will stick around? I don't know. I think it's kind of screwed up. And then speaking of laws, it's just kind of a week like that, I guess. So Washington law, this is crazy, extends a special relationship between ride-hail platforms and their drivers, and says those companies owe a duty of care to protect them from dangerous riders. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals panel ruled in a lawsuit filed by the mother of an Uber driver that was killed. The 3-judge panel ruled Friday in a case where they were left to interpret the state liability law, and basically they're now starting to say that these drivers who are getting killed, or this is a first of its kind case, the appeal was a wrongful death suit, and it won, and they won, and now they will have that law to use as example. So now in some, I mean, again, it's state by state, all this stuff, it's crazy. But what else was there? And then the lockouts in New York City. They brokered a deal, Uber and Lyft, with city council, and let me see. And I wanted to mention this because I finally got the clarity I needed on why they were shutting out drivers, because we've been hearing about this. Now, this is rideshare, but it's also happening on the food platform. So I was wondering, if you're doing because I thought it would, remember, we thought it was the hourly real hour. It isn't. It's still active time. However, they are using the utilization rate to determine on a rolling metric what the minimum wage needs to be. So Uber is only, and Lyft are only letting enough cars on to barely fill the rides that are needed. In fact, some people are getting rides, and then they get to the customer and they say, what the heck, I've been waiting for 50 minutes. So God. In NYC, where you could get an Uber in a half a second, now you could be waiting 40, 50 minutes and be paying more. And then you got this mad passenger. And that's because they will not, because the TLC is using that metric against them. What is the optimization rate of cars on the road? So if they're not being optimized, they're like, well, you guys are, you need to pay more then. So they're literally down to under a third of the 2/3 of the drivers have lost their work completely. So,
it's funny that Christopher Taylor just said, well, not funny, but Burger King, and he saw that Burger King and Chick-fil-A are being investigated for jacking up delivery prices on their app. I was looking at an article yesterday, and it was someone that was doing a comparison between ordering on the app in 2021 versus now, and ordering, let's say, 2023 versus now. And let's say a McDonald's, I think it was a 10-nugget meal or something, was 30% higher now versus in 2021. A Popeyes order was 28 or 26% higher. And they're like, this is crazy. This is why people are not using these apps anymore, because the prices are just ridiculous. And you see, he's saying Burger King and Chick-fil-A are being investigated.
So wait, is this Burger King and Chick-fil-A apps? Because I know both of them have them, or is this delivery app related?
Yeah, well, he's saying on their app. I'm saying what I saw was on Uber Eats.
Well, we know. That's why I was going to say, we know that they jacked the prices.
Yeah. But like so much, 30% in like a few years? That's
pretty common, sadly.
a lot.
Look at Seattle. I mean, Tom was talking about it earlier. Look at Seattle. They've lost tens of millions of dollars, the businesses,
Yeah.
because of this all, when it gets down to it. So you've killed the businesses, the customers, the drivers. The apps are literally like, yeah, we've destroyed everything. When are you going to fix it?
Yeah.
Can we also talk tonight about, we got a new pilot or test for it came to, I think, all of New Jersey. I don't know whether it came through any other states tonight, but there's a new pilot program for EV Earn by Time on Doordash. Just came
Talk
through
about
tonight.
it.
Yeah, so it literally, I know, it came through for me at 8:30 tonight. That's how new it is. And it says, hey, Kimberly, we want to continue to make going to hot spots worth your time when you dash. For the next 3 weeks, we're testing a new hotspot bonus on Earn by Time, where you can get an $8 bonus on top of your active hourly rate towards your next Earn by Time offer if you do not get an order within 10 minutes of waiting in an active hotspot.
And that's what Bubba Sue has down here too.
Yeah.
Oh, she's also in Jersey too.
Yeah.
So yeah, has anybody else seen this? Have you opened your apps tonight? Have you seen it?
Just see if I see that anywhere.
But
it literally just came through like 8:30. It was late tonight.
but does that
might be like
does that
7:30.
matter? Because I mean, won't they just show you a $2 offer with no tip and say you didn't take it, so reset that time or whatever?
Not $2. So Earn by Time, the base pay would be higher. So you don't know what you're getting until after. But even if it's a no tip, say they give you a $5 base pay and you're standing around waiting for an order for 10 minutes, it'll then become like a $13 order. They're basically telling you they're giving you $8 for waiting if it's more than 10 minutes.
What are the rules on EBT though? I thought, what, you can miss one?
You can miss an hour of active time.
Yeah, it's already in my feed. People are already submitting that, Kim.
Yeah.
I'm going to see where they're located.
But I guess I'm wondering, is this the thing? I don't even know. I get it could benefit a driver, but is this look what we're doing for you drivers, or is this some DoorDash thing? Who's benefiting this?
Well, I'll always say DoorDash benefits somehow. They're
I
always
know,
in it
that's
for
my
themselves,
point.
so
Is
they have to benefit from it somehow. But I
is
don't know.
it maybe the push is to get people to make you need to do EBT? Because look, if we don't give you something in 10 minutes, you'll get the 8 peak.
I think it's more like, hey, try Earn by Time. Let's try to get more people on Earn by Time. But it's tricky, right? So I know me, I've done Earn by Time probably a handful of times, but it's always kept you busy. That's actually one of the reasons why I like Earn by Time, is because it's order and then there's hardly any downtime. So I don't know whether they're going to be paying $8 out to a lot of dashers just based off of they're trying to keep you active, and this is for times when you're not active on Earn by Time if you're in a hot spot. So I think it's more of a lure. Let's get people on Earn by Time. We're going to keep them busy, so we're not going to pay them the $8. Just my own opinion.
Right. I'm just curious. I don't know. To me, that's a sign of volume going down too. And that they know it, and that they don't want drivers going, dude, it's been 8 minutes. I don't have anything. I'm just turning off. Because now those drivers will go, man, it's been 7 minutes. I'll wait the 3 minutes and I'll get the $8 bonus on the next one.
Yeah.
So it's just another algorithm manipulation.
Yeah, just real quick. So Coach Peace got it, and he's in Kentucky. She's in Kentucky, sorry.
Right, but I'm just saying, to me, I've always said, and again, I don't do it enough to tell you guys what I think you should do. And again, in my market, it pays way different too. I've talked to other people about Earn by Time. Here, when we have it, it's usually $18.50, which I guess is pretty high, but we don't get it. Usually it's padlocked. You can't get it. But if you do go into there, I've always said that that's just a test for them to find the lowest number they can pay you. But now I think it's that maybe they have dashers on who are experiencing what a lot of dashers are experiencing, which is lower volume, no tips, this, that, the other, and they're waiting for it to come back around. But are they losing dashers now? And they're like, listen, the reason you want to be on earn by time is because if you have to wait 10 minutes, you'll get an $8 perk. I mean, even that, to me, I always put everything in gamification already. Like, I know what I know, but if I was new, I would almost see that as like, wow, you're paying me for the 10 minutes. And then if I don't get it, I get an 8. No, you're not active during the 10. So you're not being paid for that. So they're giving you this other perk. To me, it's just getting too convoluted. And like Kim said, like, you got to always think what's in it for them. I mean, they just don't do anything for the drivers. They don't.
They don't
Unless
ever
something's
do
in
anything
it for
the good
them.
of their heart.
Right. I mean, even if it's just market testing or who will take this or who will do this, can we get more people on earn by time? Whatever. It's always manipulation of some sort or another. And I really don't know what to say about it because we all participate, you know. But I guess let's end it with that tonight, is like, whatever apps you're doing, because I had Display Ride Abdul on last night, and we covered all the ins and outs. And by the way, guys, till the end of the month, Kim and I are shouting out some promotions for Abdul. It not only does it's $250 for the camera. I got him last night. I said for Kim and I, he's going to do till the end of the month $200. Then not only is it not $200, it's to $250. It's going to be $300 starting next month for the unit. And it's going to be $20 a month. Right now, it's $200 for the unit and $10 a month, and you're grandfathered in. Turn off the service if you want to for a few months or for a year or whatever after you have the camera and it still works on a SIM card. But check it out. If you guys have any interest, again, one thing we did last night is we stepped away from DashCam. I learned how much he wanted to step away from that and ride, and he's going to change it even after what we talked about, because on the website it says Rideshare monitoring platform. I told him something. He said, yes, I'm going to change that to gig app worker monitoring platform, which I think is big. I think that a lot of you guys need to realize it's not Rideshare, it's everybody. So
yeah, if you're interested, use the code checkout. Use the code Rodeo so you guys get those discounts, because it's only valid for people who use the code Rodeo. And
it's only valid till the end of the month. That's what we said last night. Like the last day of this month, September, it's gone. So I'll be doing the live streams on Wednesdays in the car, the last mile. And every time it goes off, I'm going to plug it and tell you guys, because I know that everybody's in tight times. That's what we talked about yesterday. But I mean, I was saying how like me to take my son and I out to fast foods, like $30-$40 now. So like at this point, everything's just to walk out my door is like $50. I mean, everything just costs a lot. So you just got to find a way to, why is Tom spamming the crap out of all these things?
Because he has moderator in StreamYard. So at the bottom, he didn't click it off of everyone.
I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. Like whatever apps you're doing in your market, we got a few more minutes left. Like how's it going? Like, how you doing? I mean, school started back everywhere. I mean, like, what's up?
I was named one of the top 25% earners by Uber this week.
Woohoo!
Does that come with money?
No.
Just bragging rights.
Good old pat on the back.
Yeah, exactly. Comes with the recognition.
That's right.
Something I've never seen before, because this is an often comment. I just reached 5,000 deliveries. What do I get for it? I just reached 3. Somebody reached 1,000 deliveries and they got sent one of those big DoorDash square bags. That's a thing right now for those people that are achieving 1,000 delivery. They're getting those big nice catering bags from DoorDash.
Really?
As a gift. Yeah, you got to click on it. It's legit.
I just reached 14,000. What do I get?
Right. I
Wait a
did
minute.
1,000. I know.
Well, this is one of those market to market things where they get us to argue because somebody will say, I got this big bag. It's like for 5,000. Like, dude, Kim's gonna be like, I got 15,000. Why don't I have a bag? And that's again, we keep saying this. They love that. They love that people argue and say, no, it's like this. No, it's like this. It's different in every market. Like the gifts, the tiers. Some people aren't even on tiers yet.
So
No.
do you want
I don't have
to
tears
go
yet.
down the conspiracy theory hole? Okay, just one thing. You're doing all these rideshare YouTubes. I and many other people have Facebook groups. Is DoorDash looking at any of them?
Of course.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Oh yeah.
So you think they have a social media person that's out
Oh
Michelle,
yeah,
there?
100%.
Absolutely.
You know,
100%.
I'm almost off of my. I can't talk about it, but I can say this, and you should know this, Michelle, is that last year, first of all, David and I were approached by the FTC, and just to put it in perspective, Michelle, I think you know this. Gary Middleton was approached by the FTC just about a month ago, and he went through the same thing we did. So, I think it's about 40 days I can talk about it. I don't know why they made it so short of a time, like where I can't talk about it.
So from what platform? From this platform were you?
The FTC is
Federal
right, but they're looking into specifically DoorDash, but they're like Nevada, they're trying to build a RICO case.
Oh.
So it would be all gig apps.
Yeah. And Shana, you're saying you're confident that
Oh, 100%.
What gives you that?
It's a big company. Social media, like you can't run away from social media. And they know that there are YouTubers that are doing these types of videos. Like, hello, wasn't it the whole thing with Bentley Coupe where, they contacted him and he was doing videos for them. So obviously they have someone that's looking into social media. It wouldn't make any sense that such a big company that's a tech company would not have their eye to like all the social apps.
I mean, here's a perfect example, Michelle, and it actually just happened. So here's Chris. Chris and Sergio do Show Me the Money Club, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So they have a ton of rideshare people in there. They've had Dara, Harry has, or whoever. They've had Dara, they've had Lyft on to Show Me the Money Club, their CEOs, all these people. Of course, they have teams watching them.
Yes.
That's an example right there. Of course they do, because even though the interviews already happened, like Harry's done a couple with this, or there's been a couple with that. And so maybe they even are coming back again. So they are watching to make sure to I think get their pulse on some things, but B, to make sure that these guys aren't stepping out of line or they won't do them anymore.
Yeah. In our Facebook group, I can tell you, we have, let's just say CNN reporters, bloggers, because when they enter the group, they're honest and they ask, they say, and would it be okay? Or could you give me some of your members that we could possibly contact and talk to when we need to get quotes and things of that nature?
Mm-hmm.
And then I look them up, of course, on Wikipedia, or and there's something to verify that they're legit, and I kind of, ferret them out. Yeah.
Well, guys, that's a wrap for the week. Made it in under an hour again.
Here, hold on.
Look at that.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. What Uber? What? Yeah. Again, I know the FTC didn't reach out to David and I because of nothing. They reached out not just because of Parrot either, but because of watching some of the stuff we were doing last year. But Kim's trying to time me down here so that I miss it. That's it, folks. That's a wrap for the week. Thank you for joining us tonight or on the replay. Until next week, be safe, earn smart, and Kim.
Kindness is always free.
Good night.
Shoot us, baby.